Hey, just a quick one. If you've got some cash kicking around, why not invest in the corporate facility? We can always use more resource, and we can be helpful in hitting your goals. Cheers.
Welcome along, everybody, to a venue that was built for speed. Once an airfield, now one of the finest racetracks in the world. It's qualifying day here at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix. Welcome to not only the home of British motorsport, but also the birthplace of the Formula One World Championship. It's race day here at Silverstone, a classic on the calendar, and it's time for the British Grand Prix. With good opportunities to overtake at the end of the Wellington and Hangar Straights, there's a lot of potential for close action around the 3.6 miles of Silverstone circuit. With 18 corners and average lap speeds of around 145 miles per hour, it's also one of the longest and quickest circuits on the calendar. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Piastri, George Russell and Sainz, Albon, Fernando Alonso, Stroll and Yuki Tsunoda, Gasly, Hülkenberg, Andrea Kimi Antonelli and Verstappen, Ocon, Bortoletto, Isaac Hadjar and Jack Doohan, Behrman, Lawson, Martins and Ritomo Miata rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And alongside me here today in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. Well, they've done so well this year, the 11th team, but that means that next year could be that little bit tougher because, as we all know, the better you do, the higher you finish in the championship, the less development time in the wind tunnel you get the following season.
Very good, Crofty, very good. And that's exactly true. You know, they'll have a lot more time than teams that have done better than them in the championship. And it all adds up. That extra time you can spend in the wind tunnel, that's performance. And the top teams would be loving, wishing that they had that time. But it goes to this team. It hasn't been easy for them, like you say, but there is that silver lining.
This is not going to be an easy race from this position, but just give it your best shot. Okay, we've got a full course caution. The safety car's out. Keep an eye on the delta. We need to keep it positive to avoid a penalty. Slow down, maintain positive delta. Okay, be careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage. You've got to give that position back, mate. We're under safety car conditions and you can't overtake. Return the position. Are you all right? Engine off, engine off.
Oscar Piastri, take a bow. What a performance, what a win.
To do it as a team on home soil, that really means something special. And you can see how much it means to them, the drivers involved as well. Great job by them today, of course, as always. But for the fans watching on too, a great display of teamwork here today.
It's time for our podium celebrations. And as ever in Formula One, 3 is the magic number. They give out trophies for the winners. Today, they're Oscars. Your winner today, Oscar Piastri. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Hey, Chief. Just a reminder to kick off some research projects. We don't want to fall behind our rivals, and we haven't got anything in the pipeline at the moment. Thanks.
good news on this one, boss.
Hey, Chief. Engineering need your attention on something. Fantastic news. One of our parts is now developed. After completing a single part, it will be ready for fitting. We can select which car to install it on. Parts that have been dual developed will automatically be fitted to both cars. Head over to engineering and the assign upgrades screen so you can take a look.
High-speed straights, heady elevation changes and dramatic corners. What is there not to love about today? It's qualifying day here at Spa-Francorchamps. And that's it for sprint qualifying. Plenty more coming up over the rest of the weekend. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Forget pit stops, forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Piastri, Charles Leclerc and Norris, Ocon, Albon, Fernando Alonso and Yuki Tsunoda, Hülkenberg, Sainz, Andrea Kimi Antonelli and Behrman, Gasly, Bortoletto, Jack Doohan and Lance Stroll, Lawson, Hadjar, Miata and Victor Martins rounds off the grid. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. And alongside me today, a man who I'm always pleased to see join me in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. Well, they say that a change is as good as a rest, and whilst there's not much rest on show in the sprint format today, there's definitely a change to what we're usually seeing on the track. Now, I'll be generous here. It's not that long ago that you were racing and entertaining us on a Sunday, but in the years since, the sport has changed quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has, Crofty. You know, the cars have got bigger, they're heavier, but critically, there's more downforce to play with as well now. There was about 4 tons of downforce on the car at 300 kilometres an hour when I drove. You're now looking more towards 5 tons of downforce. So there's a big difference in performance. But because of that, the car being heavier and bigger, you've got to drive in a smoother way. You've got to look after it a bit more. You've got to nurse it through the slow-speed corners more. They were much more nimble, agile machines when I drove in Formula 1 compared to now.
Okay, back of the grid. It's not great, but let's make the most of it. Good luck. Okay, we're monitoring some wear on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power. side pods have taken damage. Keep an eye on your engine temperatures. Cooling may be adversely affected. We can now use DRS. DRS now available. Okay, you're in the top 10. You're dropping a second a lap to the car behind. 1 second. Side pods have taken damage. You might start to pick up a little bit extra drag. Be warned, the floor is now critically damaged. Green flag. Okay, gap ahead, 7.5 seconds. Oh, what happened? Let me know you're okay.
So with the sprint concluded, join us next time for qualifying and of course the main event, this weekend's Formula One Grand Prix. We'll see you next time. High-speed straights, heady elevation changes and dramatic corners. What is there not to love about today? It's qualifying day here at Spa-Francorchamps. Welcome then as we take a step back into the nostalgic golden days of motorsport. Spa is unashamedly a throwback, and all the better for it. Climbs, drops, sharp turns, chicanes, sweeping high-speed corners, all while taking in some of the most beautiful scenery that Europe has to offer. This might sound like a travel brochure, but it's not. It's a race day. Welcome along to Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix. So here we are once again, ready to go racing through the Ardennes forest. 4.35 miles of long straights, fast corners and massive elevation changes. It makes this not only one of the most exciting circuits on the calendar, but one that makes for some consistently high quality racing as well. Simply put it, there's no place quite like it. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Norris, Russell, Charles Leclerc and Tsunoda, Piastri, Ocon, Albon and Andrea Kimi Antonelli, Hadjar, Behrman, Fernando Alonso and Gasly, Sainz, Stroll, Nico Hülkenberg and Gabriel Bortoleto, Lawson, Martins, Doohan and Ritomo Miata rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me in the commentary box, my old friend Anthony Davidson. And let's talk momentum with this driver. What a sprint it was. They start at 0 once again for today, but with a huge amount of confidence, surely. Well, they'll definitely be glad that there's not a sprint race today. Let's face it, the sprint couldn't have gone much worse, but what we're looking for today is a reaction. So we're getting close to the start of the race. What will this driver be experiencing? Big nerves? Big excitement? What?
Always extra nerves at the start of the race, Scruffy. It's probably at the start of the race, it's where your heart rate's at its highest in anticipation, and you've got to be in the right mindset. You've got to be thinking there inside the car, what can go right? How can I be opportunistic rather than what can go wrong, and how do I protect my position? Look forward and stay positive. It's easy to say, very hard to do when you're in that position.
Now, I know this isn't where we wanted to start this race, but given we're back here at the back of the grid, it means there's an opportunity to move forward. I've seen you, car team. Okay, the safety car is out. Safety car is out. We need to form up at reduced pace. Keep a close eye on that delta time. Make sure to keep it positive. Safety car. All right, if we play this right, we can get a nice advantage here. Let's have a think about how we handle the rest of this race. Deja vu here, but there's a good opportunity to get this start spot on. Come on. Safety car. No overtaking, reduce your pace. Keep your delta number positive as we form up. New strategy available on the MFD. Understood, copy that. Okay, we're monitoring some wear on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power. Okay, we think the underbody's incurred some slight damage, but nothing too serious at the moment. Just be careful. Your lap times are falling off now. We want you to pit for repairs. Box, box, box. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Okay, the underbody's taken some damage. You might start to notice it soon. Return the position immediately or we're going to get penalised. There's no overtaking during the safety car period. You've got to give that position back, mate. We're under safety car conditions and you can't overtake. Return the position. Return the position immediately or we're going to get penalised. There's no overtaking during the safety car period. Okay, take it easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of damage. Okay, listen, don't worry about it, mate. It can happen to the best of us. Now look, I've put a new strategy option for you in the MFD, so go and have a look. Okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember, there's no overtaking until the timing line. Safety car in this lap. You've got to give that position back, mate. We're under safety car conditions and you can't overtake. Return the position. Okay, clear. Okay, safety car deployed. Safety car's been deployed. Watch your delta. Make sure you keep it positive as we catch the pack. Are you okay? That was a nasty hit. Turn the engine off and wait for the marshals.
And Leclerc to the line, to the checkered flag. It's King Charles today. He wins.
They had to be decisive with their overtaking today as they worked their way through the field. And those kind of race victories are so enjoyable because it's not just like winning from the front. They really had to work for it today.
There's room for 3 on their podium, but only ever 1 right at the top. Let the celebrations begin. And who gets to take the top step of the podium? Yes, it is I, Leclerc. Charles Leclerc on top. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Great news, boss. The sponsor we were after are pleased with our proposals and are happy to sign. I'll